Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eugenie, aka Pretty Stushy. Really. Anyways, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. This video is going to be a very quick and easy video of this look right here. This is what I do whenever I happen to go any social distancing type of event. This is what I do right here. I do the same thing every single time. It's easy for me. It's just simple. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I get it done, and it's going to be detailed step by step, 1, 2, 3, using the least amount of products, the least amount of tools. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, please continue watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can know when I post a new video. Alright guys, let's get this started. Alright guys, so we are going to start off fudge cakes. Sorry. I'm going to be priming my skin with the Tasha Silk Canvas right here. So I'm actually going to be doing a little extra stuff today that I normally don't do. So I'm going to tell you right now, normally I would just prime, but I'm actually going out to be outside, and it is quite humid today. Quite humid. And so I need to make sure that my makeup lasts as long as possible without looking a hot holy mess sooner than later. So I'm just going to use this to kind of smooth my face out a little bit. My face has been going through the motions because this weather, boy, ain't nice to me. Alright, so now the next step, the extra step that I'm doing just to really kind of like hold down the oil control, because I have combination to oily skin, is I'm going to use my Laura Mercier powder, and this is the, I think, dark deep or something like that, but it's this color right here. It's a darker color, and I'm just going to take my beauty blender, hopefully I don't have too much on it, and I'm just going to pat that in the areas that I know for a fact be acting the hell up. So now that that's taken care of, the next thing we're going to do is foundation first. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the NARS foundation in New Caledonia. This color normally I would mix with something else, but it's summertime, I have a little tan, plus I don't want to be too light, so I'm using a darker color. This is the color right here that I'm using, New Caledonia. So I'm going to do about 4 pumps. The pumps aren't big, they're literally like that much. Okay, and don't judge my nails, don't judge them. It's a rough quarantine, okay? It's rough. Alright, so now we're going to be starting with our first brush that we're using, and it's going to be the Real Techniques Instapop Cheek Brush. This is it right here. And I'm going right into the foundation. So the purpose of this is to put the foundation, I'm putting it mostly in this area here, spreading it through, because to be quite honest with you, I don't need that much foundation in this area of my face nor on my forehead, so those areas get the remnant. And as I go down here, I'm just kind of like, that coverage of putting the powder first really helps a lot. I might need some more foundation after. So we're just going to make sure that is pressed into the skin by using pattern motions and just making sure it's well pressed into the skin. Now at this point, if you feel like you need more coverage somewhere, you go back in. If you get the nose corners, you go back in with the foundation and just in those areas that you need the coverage on. Generally, I would want to go in on above my top lip, because for some reason it's a little darker than normal. And so, I'm going back in with it. So now for concealer, I am going to be using the same concealer I always use. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this simple. Crap. I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath concealer. This is the one that I've been using a lot lately. Hold on. So I'm going to be using this with another concealer. Now you can use one, okay? But I'm going to be using two because I want my under eyes to be a little bit brighter. So I'm just going to place it there. And I go right underneath the eye, but I don't go right up to the eye. Bring it up on the nose. Make sure you get into the corners of your nose here, but you got to make sure you blend that out too. I'm also going to put some on my forehead. This is also the time when I take the nozzle to kind of sculpt my eyebrows a little bit, because I'm actually, you know, doing my eyebrows last, and I'm not really using concealer to sculpt them. So I kind of take this time and just sculpt them down the bridge of my nose. Just keep it light, don't do too much. I'm also going to put a little bit here, not too much, and a little bit in this area here. I don't really want my concealer to be taken over like that. So as my additional concealer, I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place Concealer number 15. This is the color here. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm just going to put a little bit in this area here, the beginning part of my eye. I'm also going to put a little bit in the middle here, down the bridge of my nose. Just a smidget on top here. That is it. That is it. Okay, so I like to actually have my concealer dry down a little bit, and this Pat McGrath actually is not a concealer that dries down fast. It's not like the Tarte. And same thing with the Juvia's Place. They're kind of more liquidy and they take some time to dry down. So I'm gonna let this sit for just a little bit. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, it all depends on the kind of coverage you want. Like if I know I want it to be super, like more full coverage, like I want the coverage to stay more on my skin, I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit before I blend it out, so that when I'm blending it out, it's not getting everywhere and getting all watery. So usually what I would do while this is sitting, I would then proceed with my contour, but I'm not gonna be doing a liquid contour today, because this has to be an easy look. So if you're trying to do something that takes maybe 30-40 minutes to get done, and yes, I know that might be long for some of you guys, but hey, let me tell you something. If you want your makeup to be done like in some type of nice way, you can't be thinking you could do your makeup in 10 minutes and you look like you're done. No, that's called something else. I don't know what it's called, but leave that to the pros who can like not beat their face in like 10 minutes, or people who got like that flawless skin, so that when they do that, it's like they don't even have to put on much makeup. Everybody ain't like that, okay? All right, so now I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm going to use that to blend out everywhere else and do my eyes, my under eyes last. When I'm blending out my forehead, I'm actually going to be patting it in with a light touch. I want to maintain as much coverage as possible. So, and don't worry about the top getting all like going, spreading. You have your foundation brush, which is going to nip that in the bud, honey. Gonna take my foundation brush and just go over the edges like so, and kind of pat it in as well. We just want to make sure we have a seamless blend. The way I've done my makeup has changed quite a bit. I will say that, like I don't do my makeup the same as I did before. Next, I'm going to be going underneath my eye. Now be very careful, because you don't want to spread this everywhere. Like I don't want it to go all up into my eye area there. I want to control where it goes. So take your time. If that's how you want it, then that's different. So usually I would stop right here with my concealer. But no, I actually do like to have my concealer coming up and lifting my eye even more, and just creating some light in that area. Just tap that in. Make sure you get in between the nose area. And if you feel that you have too much concealer on your beauty blender, take some tissue, squeeze it out, okay, to get the excess off. And go back in. So before I blend my nose out, I'm going to use my foundation brush again, and I'm just going to go over the edges, over this section here. We just want to make sure this is blended out good. When it comes to doing your makeup, blending is so key. This is what differentiates how the hell you're gonna look in public. Like seriously, like blend, okay? Blend your stuff properly. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Now we're gonna do the nose. And you're just doing light pattern touches. That's it. Okay. So we're about to set this concealer. And so we want to make sure that we are ensuring no creases are not underneath the eye. Okay. Now I'm going to actually be using the same powder that I use on my face initially, the Laura Mercier powder. And believe it or not, I'm using this darker color. And the reason is because I actually like the way it comes out when I use it. This is a trick I got from Beauty Amazon MUA when I took her class. So we're gonna go underneath the eye and we're just gonna press that in. Alright, so now after I've set my concealer, and as you can see, even though I use that darker color, it's not like super dark. Like it didn't like, you know, bring it down too much. However, I do want to bring it up a couple notches. So after I did that initial set, I'm now going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, the regular one. And I'm going to now, I guess you could say semi-bake underneath my eye. So we're just going to press it in. This is what I do every single time I do my makeup now, when I just want to I want to be like semi-beat. So now that is done, now the next thing I'm going to do now is, I'm going to set the rest of my face. So I've been really liking the Derma Blend translucent, let me see, is it called translucent powder? Derma Blend, okay, loose setting powder. So I have this sample right here, and I know, I'm going to buy the regular one, I swear I am. But I really like to use the Derma Blend to set the rest of my face. I don't want to use a colored powder, and the reason is because I feel like it gives like a tint to the face that I don't really necessarily like. I just want it to be set with no color, if that makes sense. So to set the rest of my face, we're now on brush number 2, guys. Brush number 2. So I've only used 2 brushes so far. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using this Morphe M403 brush. This is what it looks like. Alright, so now we are going to get the face together. We're going to pull that face in. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to bring some warmth back. And this is a procedure that I do every time. Procedure, step, whatever. So I'm using the Douce by Juvia's Place. And the first thing I'm going to do is use this dark color right here. And I'm using that color to do a semi-contour, if that makes sense. I'm using this Morphe R1 brush, and it looks like this. Okay, so this is a little bit of a big brush, but so just be careful. I'm just gonna tap it in a little bit, like that much, because this is a little strong. And all I'm gonna do is kind of start to place it and blend it upwards. Hence the reason why I say you don't need that much. I'm very light-handed with my makeup anyways. And don't worry if it's not like as smooth as you would want it to be. Just make sure you blend upwards and not downwards, because we're gonna add other stuff to this, which is gonna, you know, unless you want to deepen it, that's the only way I can see. So this is what it's looking like right now. I'm gonna put a little on the forehead. Make sure you bring it up into the scalp. So the next palette I'm going to use is another Juvia's Place palette. It's going to be the Soooooo, this one right here. And I'll be using this color. This color is going to be used to bring warmth back into my face. I'm going to be using the same brush, And all I'm gonna do is just kind of pat it in, bring it towards the mouth area, but be careful. Don't get too crazy now. I want you to treat this like a blush. You could use any warm tone color you have, any kind of warm tone brown color. It's like I'm just kind of like giving myself a little bit more of a tan, like a glowiness to the skin. I have a yellow undertone, so these colors look really good on my skin tone. Alright, so now that that's done, this is what we're looking like so far. Generally you can go down here, but I don't do that. Like I said, I keep it simple. This is just an easy, quick makeup look that I do whenever I need to go social distance somewhere, if you get what I'm saying. So the next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to bronze up my face a little bit more. And if you want, you can do that, or you can leave it just like this. I'm going to be using the Mocha Mami bronzer from Fenty, my favorite. Same brush, and I'm just going to dip that in there, and I'm just going to tap that sucker in. Bring it up a little onto the forehead. If you want to smile, that way you can see exactly where you place it, you can do that as well. Just going to make sure that we solidify this area, honey. Alright, so now you can leave it like this, or if you want to be extra like me, you can put some blush on, which is what I'm going to do. Alright, so for my blush, I'm going to be using the Faux Short Extra Dimension blush. Because my look is so simple, I like to be glistening in this area, if you know what I mean. So this is the blush right here. And guess what, guys? We're using the same brush once again to apply the brush to the blush. So you want to smile and just make sure you get it in this area here. If you want, you can even bring it a little bit up on your temples. You see that little glow that it just, you see that little glow? I love this brush. Alright, so now we have to move on to another brush. Yeah, brush. So I'm going to be using the Real Techniques setting brush, this one right here. And we're going to be using that to apply our highlighter. So the highlighter I'm using is one of my favorites. I use it every single time in this basic, well, slightly basic look. And it is the Stila highlighter in Magnificent. This is what it looks like. It's a nice pressed highlighter color, but I love it because it blends seamlessly into the skin, and I just love that glow it gives. It's not like something like glitter on top of your skin. It's more like a glow. I just love it. It's my favorite. So you're just gonna smile and bring it up. If you ever look, you see there's like an area of your face that curves like this. That's where I apply my highlighter, and it connects to like the end of the brow. Okay guys, so we're finished with this part for now. So what we're going to move on to is the eyes, which is really quickly. So the lashes I'm using is my regular lashes. That there's just some regular lashes that I have like a whole bunch of them. They will be on my website when my website is up and running, and this is like my 100 millionth time wearing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put glue on my lashes and do my eyes while it's drying, because that's how quick my eyes are going to take. Alright guys, so for my eyes I'm actually going to be using the Fenty Beauty Coconutty bronzer. This is the color right here, and as you can see, it's just a regular brown color. This is that nude eye look. This is what I'm going to be doing. And the brush that I'm going to use in order to apply that is the Morphe M518 brush. This is what it looks like. So when it comes to doing my eyes, I just literally pat that sucker in. Okay, start at the base of the eye and pat it in. Then you want to blend it out by spreading it. But like I said, this is a neutral color, so it's really easy for me to just like place it and not worry about where the color is getting. And you could do this with any color, but if you have a bronzer, you can use a bronzer too. So if you see, it's just like a nice brown neutral color, and all I did was pat in motions from the base on up. When you do that, it kind of blends itself out naturally. You don't have to do too much work. Notice I'm applying this and I'm staying on my eye. I'm not going out here, I'm not doing anything extra. I'm just placing it on my mobile lid. Okay, so I'm not doing any eyeliner, just so you guys know. This is where you got to make sure you put them lashes on good. Okay, so I'm gonna apply my lashes and then we'll be back. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't know how much was not recorded, but I thought it was recording. I've been having such difficulty with making videos these days. It's like something happens every 5 seconds. I did a video last week, no freaking volume, like none at all. So I don't know what to say. I don't know how much of that was recorded, but if you missed the eyebrows, I'm so sorry. I am really sorry. All right, so I just put a little mascara on the top of my lashes just so that they could blend a little bit more. And I also see that I didn't quite put enough glue on this lash, so I'm gonna just add a little. Add a little glue right there, let that dry down a little bit, and then I will put it in, press it in. So for my lips, I actually really love using a contour, which is another thing that I got from Beauty of Amazon MUA. So I'm using the Juvia's Place concealer in number 4. This is the color right here, and I'm just gonna line my lips with this. I got a little bit too much on there, child. And I'm going to take another brush, this brush right here, just a flat brush like this, and I'm just going to clean it up. So I definitely went a little excessive just now. So I'm going to let that dry down a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to add a little bit more highlight because I want us to be well bronzed, honey, okay? Well shining like a Christmas tree. Put a little on the forehead, just a little bit. And I'm gonna go on top of that with some Mocha Mami, just to blend, make sure my highlight is not like just sticking out like it ain't got no sense. Alright, so my favorite lippy of late that I've been using every single time is the Dose of Colors. What is this? Dose of Colors is like a gloss, and seriously, and this is what it looks like. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go put my wig on. Okay, put her on and we're gonna finish this video out. Alright guys, so this is the completed look, and as you can see, we have Soooooo on. Soooooo is on right now. Okay, now if you guys like what you saw, you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Also turn your post notifications on so you can know when I post a new video. So I am going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.